Ready for the video?
Yes.
Let's get it.
Cool.
Present practice. What is vibing? This is Vish and
Desiree.
And today we'll be responding to Sadhguru's video on
Where is the mind located?
Today I'm here with Desiree.
Yes.
Want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Desiree Gutierrez. I live in Austin, Texas. I am a 5D realtor.
Sweet. And where can they find you with social media?
You could find me on Good Days in Austin and at Compass.
Nice. And I'm curious, what do you know about Sadhguru so far?
Wisdom, ancient wisdom, right? So tools, also practices to be able to tap into it and to live a more peaceful and grounding life.
That's it.
Yeah.
I love what you shared. And want to tell us a bit about your experience or background with like energy or meditation, something like that?
More about my experience. Well, it's a part of my lifestyle. So I was born and raised into tapping in and spirituality. I guess you can call it spirituality. It's a label. Food, nourishment, the body, right? Feeding the soul, basically being very intentional on all the things you consume. Your ears, your eyes, right? What you read, how you intake, all those things.
Nice.
Yeah.
And before we get started, I'm curious, how would you describe the mind briefly?
The mind. Oh. It's a devil's playground. It's also a place of creation. It's also torment. It's beauty. It's what we create in the ether. I mean, it's a part of the soul, information. So that is how I describe the mind. I mean, I'm still trying to figure that one out, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that as well.
Yeah.
And with what I know and the level of awareness that I have, I almost view it as really just a collection of thoughts, maybe feelings, but probably just thoughts, which honestly are just reflections of what your sensory receptors take in.
Correct.
And I would love to hear what you think about the mind before we start, or maybe where it's located in the comments down below. And then if your view has changed after watching the video or a reaction, you can then again, after the video, comment down below.
Let's get into the video.
In yoga, we see a human being as 5 sheaths or 5 layers of bodies. These are known as Annamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha and Anandamaya Kosha. Translating it into English would mean, Annamaya Kosha means food body. The body, the physical body that you have is just the accumulation of food that you have eaten. It is something that you gather. Manomaya Kosha means a layer of intelligence which is capable of accumulating knowledge. But there is a layer of intelligence. It is not here or here, here somewhere. Every cell in the body has its own intelligence, yes or no? So intelligence is all across. Accumulation of knowledge is all across. When I say this, people will always think, generally the thought is, memory means it's in your head. No, no, no. Your body has 1,000,000-fold more memory than your mind. Right now, your great-grandfather's nose is sitting on your face because something in the body remembers, isn't it? Yes or no? 1,000,000 years ago, how your forefathers looked. Unknowingly, still your hair is like that, your texture of the skin is like this, your complexion is like this. Your body remembers. Your body remembers 1,000,000-fold more than your mind can ever imagine. So, both in terms of intelligence, right now, what is happening in a single cell in your body, can you logically, mentally or intellectually decipher what's happening in one cell in your body, one molecule of DNA, what's happening is too much to know. So, the intelligence and the memory in the body is way beyond what happens in the bone box that you call as your head. It is just that this part of your intelligence can generate thought, and because you have become very attached to your thought, you think intelligence is all coming from here. No. This is exuding much more intelligence than your brain can ever think of. This is the science of yoga, one dimension of it. Let me speak about a very small aspect of this. Essentially, one aspect of yoga means understanding the geometry of existence. When I say the geometry of existence, for example, this solar system is functioning the way it's functioning. One thing is, all this life, including yourself, you're all solar powered, aren't you? Everything, all life on this planet is solar powered, isn't it? I was…
Sun.
That's it. So Desiree, it seems like you're connecting and resonating a lot right now. What are you feeling so far?
Joy.
Okay.
Yeah, happy. It's truth, it's fun, it's… because it just is.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. And I think I agree with you. I mean, it's so simple, but profound. And was there anything else you wanted to share about what you saw so far?
No.
Okay, well, let's continue.
You know, like about 6 weeks ago, I was in an open helicopter. We were just at about 4,500 feet. Everybody knows every 1,000 feet so much temperature drops, so you prepare for that and go. But suddenly it became extremely cold. So cold that we had to come down. So we were just discussing. Because the cloud cover came, suddenly it became so cold, we just couldn't stay there. So we were just discussing, if sun disappears, how long would it take for the earth to freeze up? In our calculations, we thought maybe 6 months, maybe 3 months, something. Then when I came down, I just checked out. In 18 hours, all the oceans on the planet will be frozen solid rock. It'll be frozen into solid ice in just 18 hours' time. So you clearly know that sun is the basic source of energy. Everything in this planet is solar powered. So, the geometry of the sun, the planet, the moon and other planets has a role to play in everything that happens upon this planet. All life is associated with this. Now when you say intelligence, when you say mind, I believe you're referring to intelligence. If you're talking about the thought process, that essentially happens in the neurons in your brain, which we know. But if you're talking about mind as an intelligence, it is just all over in this body and everywhere in the existence. The very earth that you walk upon is tremendously intelligent. Have you ever seen that you planted a mango tree and by mistake it goofed and produced a coconut? Did it ever do that? No such thing ever happened. Just its neighbor is producing coconuts. By mistake, did it ever produce a coconut? Such a nut nature has never produced, isn't it? But employing your logical intelligence, many times you end up into that kind of situations. So, you need to understand this both in terms of intelligence and memory. Every cell in your body carries much more than your whole brain carries. One cell in your body, one molecule of DNA carries information that your whole brain cannot decipher, that much information it carries. What happened in the last few million years, it remembers and still manifesting, isn't it? So, it is not in any one place, not even just within you, it is all across you. The whole creation is just intelligence.
So, Desiree,
Yes.
what do you think about this video?
It's beautiful. I mean, it's, again, resonates, it's truth, right?
How would you define, after watching this video, or maybe just before you watched this too, you had a certain view on it, how would you define intelligence?
Well, I mean, it depends on how far you want to go, right, with views, intelligence, like he was saying, it's like we feel our cells know so much more than our mind is capable of, because our mind is only capable of creating what we've really seen from the information. Exactly. So
that's what he says.
Oh yeah. So then the cells, yeah, I mean, you could heat, like the craziest thing too, right, is like knowing that a different vibration, like a joy, can actually clean your cells and cure disease.
Yeah.
Literally. It's so literally. It's so cool. Like, and it's that I don't know, it's so cool. It's beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah. And he himself talks about this too, actually, which is the idea that, I mean, again, science is great. It's coming into terms of what the yogis have talked about for thousands of years. And it's the idea that even, for instance, your immune system, right, which is so relevant right now with COVID and the pandemic, essentially what they say is that when you're in a joyful state or you're just stress-free, your immune system is stronger. And then when your mental health or is taking a toll, or you're anxious or whatever it might be, then your immune system is weaker.
Correct, but it goes hand in hand too. You have to it's not just the practices of understanding joy and getting to there, right? It's you also have to feed the immune system the good stuff, not the bad stuff, right? Because if you just do this, your immune system is still, so then you can only get so far here if we're not taking care of the body as the temple.
Exactly. Yeah. That's it. And that was super simple and I think straight to the point.
Cool.
And I'm curious, you were also mentioning something earlier in the middle of the video for me with regards to how, I think he was talking about the cells having intelligence and memory, and then how you could do something to be aware of that, because he said that most of us can't be aware of that intelligence. Want to tell us about that?
About how you can?
Yeah, because you mentioned something about that before.
Yeah, I mean, it's taken a long time of, I guess for me, connecting to it, but one of the ways I guess I can play with it or change it is in my yoga practice.
Okay.
So you create heat, right, in your hands, and you create heat, like heat. Yeah. And when you're playing, right, that vibration, that heat in between your hands, use that as a ball the entire time, and then you can start creating and playing with the fields that you're bouncing off.
Okay.
Right? And then it's like Tai Chi. It's like, right? It's a total, like right there's heat.
Want to tell us about your yoga practice and what kind of yoga you do?
All the kinds.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Iyengar, Vinyasa, Vinyin, I'm Hatha. Just depends on the day, what I need that day.
There we go.
Yeah.
Wow, that is beautiful. And I'm assuming it's helped you with your energy practices or just overall well-being. How would you describe that?
I just love it. So I do what I love, right? I do what brings me joy. I love that motion, that movement. It's different for everybody, right? So for me, yoga is my juju.
There we go. I love that. I love the energy too.
Yeah.
I was able to really tell as we're watching, you were able to really connect, and I was able to notice like the energy within you just building up, which I thought was cool.
Cool.
And
'cause I don't see what you see.
Right. There we go. I mean, we all see differently.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't see how you see me. So that's kind of cool.
And I'm curious because you also mentioned to me personally about how he's got like really cool eyes. And what stuck out to you about his eyes?
I mean, they're pure.
What makes it pure? Exactly.
You can't logically
explain it.
No.
Got you.
Let's see, and
I have noticed a sparkle, and that's something I don't know if you picked up on either.
Yeah, that's clean energy, right? It's his soul is clean.
Yeah.
So that's why they sparkle, because there are no toxins. Not that there are no toxins, but physically and mentally and spiritually, it's just so yes, they'll sparkle.
Right. And it's interesting because my mom, I was telling Desiree before, she also, for some reason, out of everything, she doesn't talk too much about Sadhguru, to be honest, but she would always tell me from time to time how something with his eyes just connect.
Yeah. I mean, my mother used to teach us or tell us, you know, that the eyes are the gateway to somebody's soul. So look into somebody's eyes, you'll see, you'll read so much. When somebody can't look you in the eyes, that is where their soul is, right? It's there's shame, there's something behind that.
Yes.
So the eyes are the gateway to the soul.
I love that. And I've started practicing actually too recently. There was this like one really zened out individual. It actually happened 2 times. One was like a Hare Krishna guy.
Yeah.
And the second was, I think some sort of monk or some guy at a Isha Foundation, which is Sadhguru's foundation. The only 2 times I've actually experienced it directly where when you're talking to them, it's complete eye contact. They're not looking anywhere else.
And they're present.
Very present. And so I started realizing how powerful that was. And I started reflecting on my own experiences when, for instance, I'm talking to you right now. There's such a tendency for the mind to look here or look there, because I think the mind itself, as I've come to realize, doesn't like to be present.
Right.
And so all of those little, like, even just now I'm looking there, are excuses for the mind not to be present. But like you just mentioned, we're able to just look at each other in the eyes. It's a portal into presence.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It is, totally. I mean, you could feel it when somebody is, you know? I felt it. Like, that's something that I know a different, like, I don't have that-ness.
Yes.
You know? And you know when you meet somebody that does. And it's life-changing.
Exactly.
It's totally life-changing.
And what we're just talking about right now is actually just another dimension of intelligence.
Yeah.
Intelligence isn't just the logical mind or isn't just science. I mean, science actually is more than what you think. So with that, we'd love to hear what you think about intelligence or where that's located. Again, like I asked you earlier, if you had a different view on it now after hearing us talk or Sadhguru talk himself, you can comment down below. And with that, I'm also grateful for Desiree for being here.
Yeah.
Don't forget to check her out. Of course. Don't forget to check her out. All of her stuff will be down below. And with that, make a great day. Take it joyfully. And if you have other video requests, also comment down below. And stay conscious.
Cool.
That was it. You did awesome.